The Olympics, a global event that happens every 4 years where countries come together, put aside their differences and battle it out on the sports field, court, stadium, pool, whatever you want to call it. If you can't tell, we're doing another video on the Olympics. So the last time we watched the top 10 weirdest Olympic events, which were events that are still happening in the Olympics today. But this time, we're changing it up a little bit and we're watching the top 10 weirdest discontinued Olympic sports. So these are sports that were in the Olympics at one point, but are not anymore. And I'm so interested in this because some of the sports we have in there at the moment are still a little bit questionable. Some of these ones were probably so questionable that they got banned. Not banned, sorry, that's probably not the right word. That they got discontinued. But I've said in the other videos, like half the reason why I like watching the Olympics is because it's just a bunch of sports that I would never watch otherwise if it wasn't on. So that's the bit that I like about it. Anyway, enough of my rambling, enough of my talking. Let's get into the video.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 unusual discontinued Olympic events.
Love a Watch Mojo, by the way. I used to watch Mojo all the time.
For this list, we'll be looking at the unusual, wacky, and downright weird events that once held a spot in the Olympic lineup. Demonstration events, meaning events that didn't issue medals, are open for review.
Events that didn't issue medals. Is that still a thing? Interesting.
Number 10, the 2,000-meter tandem bicycle sprint. Introduced during the 1906 unofficial Olympic Games, the intercalated games, tandem cycling was dropped from the Olympics after 1972. Although a risky, dangerous activity, given that it took place on a steeply banked track, evidence suggests the event was dropped simply to help streamline the Olympic schedule.
I'm surprised this still isn't a thing because there's a lot of sports that they have where it's like a sport that you play individually that they've just gone and made it so you can do doubles in it. And biking would be one of the interesting ones, like a tandem bike event. I'd probably watch it. No, I wouldn't. I don't watch any of the bike events. I'm lying.
Number 9, ski-yoring. Only held as a demonstration event during the St. Moritz Winter Games, ski-yoring can best be described as dog sledding but with a horse, or water skiing on ice with a riderless horse for a boat.
This sounds amazing. How is this still not a thing? Obviously this would be in the Winter Olympic Games. How is this not a thing? Wait, it might be animal cruelty. I don't know. Hopefully not. If it's not, then this should definitely come back and let's make a petition to bring ski-yoring back.
Rooted in Sweden and Norway, where it was used as a form of military transport, the event was actually dominated by the Swiss, who took all 3 top positions. Ski-yoring had a home in the Nordic Games from 1901 to 1909, but failed to catch on at the Olympics, and as such hasn't been seen since February 12, 1928.
Wow, interesting. So it didn't catch on. I guess that's half the issue. Like everyone has to want to do it, and if no one wants to do it, it's definitely not going to be an Olympic sport. I'd watch this one. Definitely would watch this one. There's a lot going on, which makes it interesting.
Number 8, single stick, also known as cudgels. Depending who you ask, single sticks was either at its peak or had already become quite passé by 1904. The fact that only 3 people took part, and that it was dropped due to the lack of participation, seems to support the notion that the sport had just become old hat.
3 people took part, which means everyone gets a medal. How good. It just looks like a bit of LARPing or, yeah, LARPing. Interesting. I don't think this is one that I would watch. How would you judge it? It's kind of like fencing in a way, but with swords and stuff. It's actually pretty cool, to be honest. Maybe I would watch it.
Essentially fencing, but with sticks.
That's exactly what I just said. I know it. I know my sport. No. Well, I said with swords, but obviously they wouldn't be swords. I was thinking wooden or foam swords. That's what I was thinking.
And Sherlock Holmes' preferred method of advanced ass-kicking. Historians now debate whether the single-stick competition seen in 1904 may have actually been a mislabeled bout of cane fighting. Number 7, bandy.
It's not hockey, it's bandy, and maybe the Olympic Committee should take notice.
Resembling a typical game of field hockey but on ice.
Is this not just ice hockey?
Bandy is basically ball hockey played with football rules.
Okay. So ice hockey uses a puck and stuff. This might be a little bit different. Literally field hockey on ice. Like they said.
The rink conforms to football field standards, teams have 11 members per side, and gameplay is divided into 45-minute halves.
Okay, so yeah, just a bigger ice hockey. in reality.
Play in Oslo was dominated by Scandinavians, with Sweden, Norway, and Finland making up the podium. However, they were also the only teams to compete. All three were tied at 1 win and 1 loss, with Sweden being declared the winner based on goals scored.
Bloody Sweden.
Number 6, the 200-meter swimming obstacle event.
That was definitely a Japanese game show. And if that was a sport, I'm here for it. Bring it back.
The swimming obstacle event saw competitors swim, climb a pole, climb over some boats, swim under some boats, and swim a bit more.
Okay, that wasn't even a sport. Why did they show that if that wasn't it? I can see this though. This is kind of just like a version of Wipeout, but with athletes. I can see it being a sport in the Olympics. Anything's a bloody sport in the Olympics these days.
Number 5, the 100-meter running deer. For this event, shooters would have 10 4-second chances to shoot a fake deer target as it made a brisk 75-foot run for a potential maximum score of 80 points.
I like this. I don't know why, but it just shows that, like, it shows if you're a good hunter. And it was a fake deer as well, so the vegans can't get angry. I don't know, I would watch this. It'd be real interesting. Especially if it was moving.
Number 4, equestrian vaulting.
That just looks like gymnastics mixed with equestrian. I'm here for it. I was saying at the start that there's sports that shouldn't be in the Olympics. Now I'm saying bring all these back. But they're random. They're so out there, and that's fun to watch.
Also called figure riding or even l'épreuve de voltige, equestrian vaulting is effectively dance gymnastics on a horse.
Exactly what I just said. Boom!
Here, a man would jump on a horse from a standing position, hop down the other side, jump up again, then jump over the horse and perform a few more moves. Number 3, live pigeon shooting.
And again. Yes!
Sparking animal rights campaigns and banned in the United States 2 years later.
Yeah, this one's a bit... I get the idea, as again, it's like proving that you're a good hunter and stuff, but with the live animals, I don't know. A lot of people wouldn't be happy about that, so I can see why this one was discontinued.
Live pigeon shooting was held just once at the Olympics and was replaced in later games with very non-living clay pigeon shooting.
Okay, so it's clay shooting, yeah. I mean, that's sorted the issue out. There you go.
Number 2, tug of war.
Jesus. You know, I'm actually here for tug of war. I think we should bring that back. Imagine just seeing 5 massive athletes, just all full of mass and muscle, just pulling a rope. And I feel like this, I think from memory, it's one of the ones that was like, it's been around for a very long time. So why did it get discontinued?
Tug of war was one of the earliest Olympic events,
What I just said.
dating back to the ancient games circa 500 BC. Oddly, the game was not without
What is that movie that is on the screen?
back to the ancient games circa 500 BC. Oddly, the game was not without its share of controversy.
That looked like an interesting movie, to be fair. Like King Kong versus 10 men.
Oddly, the game was not without its share of controversy. The 1900 games saw Sweden and Denmark join forces and form a joint team to defeat the French.
Sweden and Denmark joining forces. I don't think that would happen today. Every time I talk to a Swede about the Danes, they, for some reason, don't really like them. And they say they speak like they have a potato in their mouth.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I love the honorable mentions bit. It's great. Thank you, Watch Mojo. Thank you, Watch Mojo. Oh, they're not even going to describe them. No. Just know the names now. We don't get to know what they actually do. Don't worry, then. Skip the honorable mentions.
Number 1, solo synchronized swimming.
Wow, that makes no sense. Solo synchronized swimming. What?
Debuting at the LA Games in 1984, solo synchronized swimming never failed to raise the question, how can it be synchronized if it's solo?
Call it something different, like water ballet. Great one. Good name. Water dance. Very cool names.
The activity was based on the fact that the synchronization was actually meant to be to the music and not one's fellow swimmers.
It's more just a dance routine, isn't it? Change the name, then we can bring it back.
But reduced to one person, the sport looked more like a woman in a swimsuit frolicking in a pool than an organized sporting event.
Yeah, it would actually look a bit awkward now that I think about it. Maybe we can keep this one discontinued.
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite discontinued Olympic event?
Back to showing us a Japanese game show. Honestly, a lot of the Japanese game show stuff could be Olympic events. And I would watch them 100%. Anyway, that's going to be the end of the video. Let me know if there's any Olympic sports that you think should be on this list, that should be discontinued, that don't deserve to be Olympic sports today. But otherwise, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And if you didn't like the video, then drop a dislike. I am happy either way. Make sure you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!